Hello students, in previous class we discussed about the thermal expansion of solids and liquids, and let me start heat transfer. So what are the modes of the transfer of heat? Heat can be transferred in three processes, mainly conduction and convection and radiation. Heat process. Now conduction takes place. How is the conduction takes place in a water? Let us go with the conduction. Now in the process of the conduction, there is no actual movement of the molecules. There is no actual movement of molecules. Means the molecules can be vibrate from their mean positions in solids. So because of that one, the energy can be transferred from one point to the another point. Then the energy can be transmitted, heat energy can be transmitted by the process of the conduction by the vibrations of the molecules without no actual movement of matter. No actual movement of matter or molecules. Is it? Because of the vibrations of the molecules or atoms, the heat energy will be transferred from one end to the other. Let us take an example. We have taken a solid. For this solid, one end of this solid is a temperature T1 and other end of the solid is a temperature T2. If A is the area of cross section of the solid, A is the area of the cross section of the solid, is L is the length of the rod or separation between those ends of the conductor and T1, T2 are the temperatures. Now the heat energy transfer, rate of heat energy transfer, heat energy by time, rate of heat energy transfer is directly proportional to the difference of area of cross section of this conductor and difference directly proportional to the difference of the temperature to the length of the rod, means to what distance it has to be traveled. Therefore, Q by T is equal to, by using this proportional constant, let me write here K A into T1 minus T2 by L. Now, where K is called proportionality constant, which is also called as the thermal conductivity coefficient of thermal conductivity. Coefficient of thermal conductivity, and this coefficient of thermal conductivity depends upon nature of the material, but does not depend upon the dimensions, only depends upon nature of the material. Whereas now as the temperature difference, when you have taken, remember here Q by T is nothing but rate of flow of heat, and let me write here dt T1 minus T2, let me write as temperature difference by L by Ka. So this one let me compare with Ohm's law in electricity. Ohm's law in electricity, which is V is equal to IR and I is equal to V by R. I is here Q by T, which is nothing but rate of flow of heat is similar as that of the electric current, rate of flow of charge. Similarly, dt temperature difference is similar as the V potential difference. Here it is what current, which is rate of flow of charge. This is what heat transfer, rate of heat transfer. Here temperature difference similar as that one. Therefore, L by Ka is analogous to the resistance of this. Analogous to what? Resistance. Therefore, R is called thermal resistance. L by K is called what? Thermal resistance. Then thermal resistance is equal to R is equal to what is known? L by K. L by K. So depending upon this one, we need to discuss when the metal rods are connected in series and in parallel, what would be the resultant resistance of the materials when they are connected in series and parallel. That means, as we know that when rods are connecting series, let us take like L1, L2, L3 and so on, L1, L2, L3 and so on, like that they are connected. Now the equivalent resistance, remember when the rods are connected in series, which is remains constant, rate of flow of heat is remains constant, rate of flow of heat is remains constant, but which will be different? Temperature difference is different, dt is different, rate of transfer of heat is remains same, but temperature difference is different. Therefore, the resultant resistance, thermal resistance is equal to R equal to R1 plus R2 plus and so on. Why? Because the temperature difference is equal to what you know? dt. Here to here if you are taking dt1 plus dt2 plus dt3 plus and so on. Therefore, the resultant resistance will be added same as of the resistance in series. Whereas in parallel combination, so even we can write here what is L effective length by K effective into area is equal to L1 by K1 A plus L2 by K2 A plus and so on. Like that also can be calculated. In parallel combination, when rods are connected in parallel, so when you have taken like the pipes are connected in parallel, this is like parallel combination. Remember, endpoints are remain same. The endpoints are remain same means what? Temperature difference is constant. For all the metals, temperature difference constant. Like potential difference constant there in electricity. Similar as here also, temperature difference constant. But what will be the resultant rate of heat flow? H is equal to H1 plus H2 plus and so on. Is it like I is equal to I1 plus I2? The rate of flow of heat will be added. Then temperature difference dt by R is equal to what? P is equal to dt1. Temperature difference remains constant. Therefore, 1 by RP is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus and so on. Or 1 by L by K. Is it L by K? That means K effective into A by L. This area, effective area, into K1 A1 by L1, K2 A2 by L2 plus and so on. So that we can write, for example, all are having same area. Is it if 2 are taken? Then for K into 2A by L is equal to what? K1 plus K2 by 2. K1 plus K2. L will be cancelled. Then what is K effective? K effective is equal to what again? K1 plus K2 by 2. This is in series combination. This is what about rate of flow of heat transfer. Now when we have taken for different cases we can be discuss this one. When we have taken the growth of ice layer, so in a quartz we have ice layer, and we have discussed in previous class that enormous expansion of water becomes this one. Here temperature is 0 degrees Celsius, but surrounding temperature is T, and this is like the ice layer of thickness L. Then what would be the resultant time taken to melt ice to increase its thickness? T is equal to time for melting. T is equal to rho L by 2 kT into x2 square minus x1 square. That means T is nothing but time taken for melting of this ice because of the temperature difference. This ice will be melts, and what will be the time taken to be melt from x1 thickness to the x2 thickness, which is that. L is latent heat, K is the thermal conductivity of ice, where T is the temperature, surrounding temperature. So this next let us see convection. Convection. So many examples can be, or you can discuss for so many examples for convection. On roof of the buildings, a mud layer is given, or thatch roofs, they have some. When you have taken that mud on a roof of the building, that mud will be act as a bad conductor of the heat, so that it keeps the room temperature as low in summer. So that is what. Then what will be the convection? Convection is a process of transfer of heat by the actual motion of matter. There will be a actual motion of matter. And remember, convections will be take place always vertically upward directions. Vertically upward directions. And again we have two types of convections, which are natural convection and forced convection. Natural convection, which is due to the like the sea breeze, land breeze, these all are due to what natural convection, and that will be depend upon HA into delta theta. So which is rate of transfer of heat by the convection is equal to HA into delta theta, where H is convection constant, and this depends upon what? Viscous force, viscosity of the medium, and density of the medium, relative density, specific gravity, density of the medium, and Bion's force. That means it is depending upon the nature of the medium, density and viscous force. Whereas forced convection, what do you mean by forced convections? Whatever we are looking now, this is AC, air conditioners and room heaters, these are due to forced convections. And this is what the case of the natural forced convection. You can see that the ventilators are given at the near to the top of the floor, top of this roof of a building, because the hot air layers are rising upward, so that they would escape from the ventilator. Whereas windows are taken nearer to the bottom of the floor, which is because of the less density of the cooling enters through the windows. Hot air layers which are having less density will be raised upward. Cool air is having more density than that of the hot air density. Now one more which we have, radiation. Radiation does not require no medium required for the flow of transfer of heat. And remember, according to the Prevost heat theory, from Prevost theory, all the bodies will be radiating energy except at 0 degrees Celsius are absolute temperatures. In all other temperatures, they emit radiations. And what do we mean by the spectral emissive power? Spectral emissive power. Spectral emissive power. Spectral emissive power means whenever the light is incident on any surface, the amount of heat energy the amount of heat energy emitted by the body because of the temperature, depending upon the temperature, everybody emits radiations. Now, the amount of heat energy emitted by the body per unit surface, per unit area, per unit time is called spectral emissive power. Whereas spectral absorptive power, spectral E lambda is equal to integral E lambda d lambda particular value. Spectral absorptive power. So whenever, what do you mean by spectral absorptive power? Whenever the heat energy incident on any surface, the amount of heat energy absorbed per unit time, per unit area when the heat energy is incident on that one is called spectral absorptive power. Whereas emissivity are related to emittance. Emissivity are related to emittance, which is a ratio of the emissive power of the ordinary body to the emissive power of the black body. Emissive power of ordinary body to the emissive power of the black body, which is called emissivity E. Remember, for perfect black body, this emissive power is 1. Perfect black body emissive power is equal to what? 1. So this is what emissivity. Then what is Kirchhoff's law? Let us discuss about Kirchhoff's law for the heat radiations. Kirchhoff's law states that the ratio of the emissivity to the absorptive power is remains constant. E lambda by A lambda is equal to constant for all. Emissivity to emissive power to the absorptive power, whatever may be the incident. So for perfectly black body it remains constant. Now let us discuss about Wien's displacement law. Wien's law. According to this one, the wavelength corresponding to the maximum energy is inversely proportional to the absolute temperature. Wavelength corresponding to the maximum energy, that means minimum wavelength. Energy max means wavelength is minimum. Now the wavelength corresponding to the maximum energy is inversely proportional to the absolute temperature. So when you have taken this is energy, now the wavelength is lambda. Now what will happen as the temperature increases, energy increases, but as the temperature increases, energy increases, but wavelength will be decreases. Then lambda m t is equal to constant, and this constant value is called Wien's constant, where V is Wien's constant, 2.93 into 10 power minus 3 meter Kelvin. Wien's constant. Whereas what will happen if temperature increases? If the temperature increases, what happens to the color of the rod? So as the temperature increases, let us see. As the temperature increases, frequency, energy will increase, so that the frequency will be increases. Then what will be happening to the wavelength? Decrease. Wavelength will decrease means red will become like red vibja, orange to violet. That means the color will be changed from red to violet as the temperature will be increases. Even the wavelength will be, let us see Stefan's law. According to Stefan's law, the amount of heat energy emitted per unit time or energy emitted per unit time is directly proportional to the fourth power of the absolute temperature of the body. Now the energy, which is sigma into A into E into T power 4, then E by T is equal to sigma A E T power 4, where sigma is called Stefan's constant, which is 5.67 into 10 power minus 8 watt meter power minus 2 Kelvin power minus 4. Similarly, Stefan's Boltzmann's law. According to this Stefan's Boltzmann's law, if the temperature of the body is T and surrounding temperature is T0, T is body temperature and T0 is surrounding temperature. Now the heat energy emitted per unit time per unit area is directly proportional to the sigma A E T power 4 minus T0 power 4. T power 4 minus T0 power 4. T power 4 means temperature of body, whereas T0 is nothing but surrounding temperature of the body. But remember what will be happening when you have taken a hot water in a vessel, and if you place at a place, after some time what will be happen to the temperature? Decreases. So why is the temperature of that liquid will be decreases? Because it losing some heat energy. Now according to the Newton's law of cooling, Newton's law of cooling, from Newton's law of cooling, the rate of loss of heat energy, the rate of loss of heat energy is directly proportional to the T minus T naught. T minus T naught. T minus T naught means T is the average temperature of the body. T naught is the surrounding temperature, absolute temperature. Even we can write. So from this one only we can write this one. The E by T is equal sigma AE T power 4 minus T naught power 4. Is it okay? Now T naught plus delta T. T is nothing but what you know? T naught plus delta T. T naught plus delta T. Then what is dq? Mc dt by T dt. Delta T is equal to, whereas this one actually you will get 4 into sigma AE 4 into delta T T naught plus delta T 4 delta T. Is it? This one delta T is equal to what? T minus T naught. Now what is 4 sigma AE into T minus T naught? Now if you take this MC to this side, then dt by dt is equal to some constant K by MC into T minus T naught. Very very important formula. That means the difference in temperature T2 minus T1 by dt is equal to, is directly proportional to T minus T naught, where T is nothing but average temperature T1 plus T2 by 2 minus T naught. So this is what the loss of heat depends upon the temperature differences. So this is what about the heat transfer, and what is the graph for this one. When you have taken, if you have taken this differentiation dt by, let me take differentiation, how do you get? From this one, let me take dt by T minus T naught is equal to K by MC into dt. K by MC into dt. Now this one log T minus T naught is equal to K by MC into T. But remember here temperature is decreasing. Let us take this is negative. Therefore log T minus T naught is equal to e power minus K by MC into T plus C. That means what is the nature of the graph with the temperature and the time decreasing with time. But log T and temperature, log T minus T naught and time, this one negative. Straight line, but which is what? Negative. So let us discuss about the applications based on this thermal conductivity and convection and radiation, which is very very important topic this one, because based on this question of thermal conductivity comes and there are some questions even based on this Newton's law of cooling, or whatever maybe we have Kirchhoff's law, or even Stefan's Boltzmann's constant based questions are repeating. Solar constant is the sun radiant energy which is incident per unit area per unit time. Then S is equal to sigma R by R square into T power 4. T is the absolute temperature of the sun, and that value is around 400 watt meter power minus 2. From this one, the temperature of the sun is measured to be 6000 Kelvin, 6000 degrees Celsius. Sorry, 6000 Kelvin. Let us see the objective questions based on this one, numericals. dt1 initially and dt2 is equal to 1. Remember, the heat transfer rate of heat is equal to H is equal to E by T, which is K into dt by L. That means A is same, L is same, and heat transfer is remain same. So what does it mean? K is inversely proportional to difference in the temperature. Now K2 by K1 is equal to what? dt1 by dt2. That is T by dt T by 2t 200. So 100 by 200. So what I get? K2 is equal to K1 by 2. K2 is equal to what again? K1 by 2. Is it? So generally we think this one, but actually remember I said that one thermal conductivity does not depend upon what factor? It does not depend upon temperature difference or area or length. So it is remains same. It depends upon what? Nature of the material, that's all. So temperature difference remains same. Next one. Two rods A and B are equal lengths. Their ends are kept between same temperature. That means temperature difference remains constant. Two ends are kept at same temperature, and their area of cross section is A1 and A2 are area of cross sections given and thermal conductivities are K1 and K2. Thermal conductivities are K1 and K2. Two rods A1 and A2. So K1, K2. So A1 and A2, K1 and K2. And temperature difference is same for both. The rate of heat transmission in the two rods will be equal. They given rate of heat transfer also same. But remember, rate of heat transfer H is equal to K into dt by L. Okay. Now temperature difference is same, L is same, and H is also equal to same. That means K1 A1 is equal to what again? K2 A2 directly. So which is the second half. Let us go third. Two identical vessels are filled with equal amount of ice. We have two identical vessels, same identical. So those two identical vessels are filled with equal amount of ice. Amount of ice also what? Same amount of ice. The vessels are made from different materials. That means thermal conductivity is K1 means the thermal conductivity is what? K, because the different materials means thermal conductivity is different. If the ice melts in the two vessels are in the ratio in the times T1 and T2 respectively, then their thermal conductivities are in the ratio. Here T1 and T2, then what will be the thermal conductivities ratio we need to find. Again what we know, H is equal to Ka into dt by L. Identical vessels means what? This is same and this is same. And remember, the heat of same amount of ice, that means the heat transfer also must be same. The temperature difference also should be same. Then Q by T, the same amount of heat, because Q is equal to what? ml. M into L. So mass of the same, latent is also same. Then the heat for melting also same. Therefore dt is same. Then what you can write? 1 by d is directly proportional to what? K. That means K1 by K2 is equal to what again? T2 by T1. Then K1 is to K2 is equal to we get T1, T2 is to T1, which is second half. Let me fourth one. What is fourth one? Fourth one, a partition wall has two layers A and B in contact, each made of different material. Partition is made of two materials. is made of two materials. Is it A and B? And they are contact. They have same thickness, but thermal conductivity of layer A is twice that of layer B. If you have taken A and B, then thermal conductivity of A is twice that of thermal conductivity of B. Twice that of thermal conductivity of B. If the steady state temperature difference across the wall is 60 Kelvin, temperature difference here what? Let us take here T1 and T2. Then that temperature difference is what here? 60 Kelvin. dt is equal to what? 60 Kelvin. Let us take for example here T0 is a temperature at the junction. Let me take. Then the corresponding difference across the layer A is what would be the temperature difference across the corresponding layer A? That means let me take here it is dt1 and this is dt2. Are you clear? Now these two are in which combination? Series. In series combination which is remains constant? Q by T is remains constant. But Q by T is nothing but what you know? K1 A1 dt1 by L1 is equal to K2 A2 dt2 by L. Remember they have same areas and length will be cancelled. Then K1 is equal to what you know? 2 kb. Then 2 kb dt1 is equal to kb into dt2. Now kb cancelled. So that what you know? 2 dt1 is equal to what? dt2. But remember what is total? dt is equal to what you know? 60 Kelvin. But dt is nothing but what? dt1 plus dt, total temperature difference. Then dt1 plus dt2 is equal to what? 60. Remember instead of dt2 can we write 2 dt1? Therefore dt1 plus 2 dt1 is equal to what? 60. So that 3 into dt1 is equal to what? 60. Then dt1 is equal to what? 20 Kelvin. That means temperature difference across first layer A is 20 Kelvin. Next one, fifth one. In the fifth one, what is given? Mud houses are cooler in summer and warmer in winter. Because of what? Mud is a bad conductor of the heat. Let us see sixth one. Two identical rods connected between two containers. One of them is at 100 degrees Celsius and other is at 0 degrees Celsius. If rods are connected in parallel, then the rate of melting of ice is x gram second inverse. If they are connected in series, then the rate is y gram second inverse. The ratio of x by y. So two identical rods are connected between two vessels. Sixth one, we have two vessels. And identical rods are connected. We have same length of the rods. Identical rods. And how they are connected? Two containers. One of them is 100 degrees Celsius. So here what? This for example it is at 100 degrees Celsius and this is what? 0 degrees Celsius. Now the temperature difference remains same. But what they given? By using this temperature difference, the melting of a steady state of difference, the rods are connected in parallel. So rate of melting of ice is what? X gram second inverse when they are connected in parallel. So these two like this if they are connected, then the rate of melting of ice x gram second inverse in parallel. Okay, but y gram second inverse in series. Then what would be the ratio of this one? Tell me, when these two rods are connected in series, what is the thermal resistance? Thermal resistance is what? Can you tell? What is the thermal resistance? R is equal only both the R1 plus R2. That is equal to what? 2R. But when they are connected in parallel, for parallel combination, Rp is equal to what? 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R plus 1 by R, that is equal to what? 2 by R. But we need to know that Rp, parallel thermal resistance in parallel, This is what thermal resistance. Now Q is nothing but what? ml by T. Latent heat remains the same. So this is nothing but what? Mass of the ice melts per Newton, which is given S from second inverse. So that we can write m by T is inversely proportional to the resistance. Now x is nothing but what? Parallel. So x by y is equal to. Then what do we have? Resistance of the y by resistance of the x. X is in parallel, is it? X is in parallel. So this is what R3, Rx. Y is in series. Y is in series. Ry. That is equal to Ry. 2R by Ry. That is equal to what? 4. Then x by y is equal to what? You get 4. Which is first option. Let us see seventh one. Seventh one. Three identical rods A, B and C are placed end to end. A temperature difference is maintained between the free ends of A and C. We have three identical rods A, B and C. A, B and C. Okay. Now the temperature difference maintained between free ends of A and C, free ends here and here. The thermal conductivity of B is thrice that of C. Kb is equal to thrice that of C, and half of that of A. Ka by 2, half of that A. The effective thermal conductivity of the system will be, is it? End to end means remember series. End to end, remember end to end. That meaning is what? They are connected in series. Now tell me, in series combination, what is the equivalent resistance? R is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Thermal resistance will be added. And they given identical rods. Identical rods means what? Same area, same length. Now R is equal to what you know? Thermal resistance is equal to L by K. Now let me write here L1 plus L2 plus L3 by K. K effective into A. Here we need to calculate what? The effective thermal conductivity we need to know. Now L1 by K A into A plus L2 by K B into A plus L3 by K C into A. Now A will be cancelled, but remember L1, L2, L3 same. Then 3 by K effective is equal to 1 by Ka plus 1 by Kb plus 1 by Kc. 1 by Ka plus 1 by Kb plus 1 by Kc. But remember 3 by K effective is equal to 1 by Ka plus Kb is nothing but what you know? Ka by 2. 1 by Ka by 2 plus 1 by Kc is nothing but what? Kb. In terms of Ka you write. Kc is nothing but what you know? Ka by 6. Ka by 6. Now simplify. 3 by K effective is equal to 1 by Ka plus 1 by Ka. Ka by 2 will become 2 by Ka, reciprocated 2 by Ka plus Ka by 6 will become what? 6 by Ka. That is equal to 3 by K effective is equal to 9 by K. 9 by K. So what you get here? This is 3 times. Then K effective is equal to what? K by 3. K by 3. So options are given in terms of the K, so that we calculate in terms of the K by 3, which is second option. Let us go for the next one. Eighth one. A cylindrical rod having temperature T1 and T2 at its ends. The rate of flow of heat is given Q1 calorie per second. If all the linear dimensions are doubled, keeping temperature constant, then the rate of flow of heat Q2 will be. So what are given? Cylindrical rod having temperature T1 and T2 at its head. Cylindrical rod T1 and T2. Now what do you mean by the rate of flow of heat? Q by T is equal to Ka into dt by L. As it is a cylindrical rod, then what is the difference? Pi r square into dt by L, Q by T. Now, so from this one, what you can write here? K is same, K is constant. By keeping all the linear dimensions are doubled, R is doubled, R2 is equal to R1 and L2 is equal to what? 2L1. This one 2L1. That means Q is directly proportional to the R square and inversely proportional to the L. Then Q2 by Q1 is equal to Q is directly proportional to R square means R2 by R1 whole square into L1 by L2. That is equal to R2. R2 is nothing but what? 2R1 by R1 whole square into L1 by L2. L1 means L1 by 2L. L1 will cancel. So 4 here R1 will cancel. 2 square 4 by 2 which is nothing but 2. Therefore Q2 is equal to what again? 2Q1. Q2 is equal to 2Q1 which is first half. Let us see ninth one. A metal rod of length 2 meter has cross-sectional area 3A and 2A as shown in the figure. They given diagram is given. They will give it diagram. 3A and 2A, 1 meter, and this is also 1 meter. And this is at 100 degrees Celsius. And it is at 120 degrees Celsius. 120 degrees Celsius. The temperature at the middle point, see at this point what is the temperature. Now how are these two are connected? These two are connected in a series combination. In series combination which is remains constant, rate of flow of heat is remains constant. Q by T is equal to what? Constant. Therefore Q by T for this one and Q by T for this one is constant. Then what we can write here? K. So that it is a same nature of material. Even K also same. K1A1 dt1. Remember from where? What will be the direction of flow of transfer of heat from high temperature to the low temperature point? Then this is the direction of flow of heat. So that what you can understand, this temperature is less than this 120 and here the temperature is less than this one T. So that Ka1 into T minus 100 by 1 is equal to, so similarly K2 also same only A2 into, here what is temperature difference? 120 minus T by what? K cancel. Now let me write here. A1 is nothing but 3A into T minus 100 is equal to area of cross section of this one 2A into 120 minus T. T is nothing but temperature at the junction. Now A cancel. Let us multiply 3T minus 300 is equal to 240 minus 2T. Is it? Now bring this minus T 2T to this side. 5T, 3T plus 2T, 5T. Minus 300 goes to that side, plus 300, then 540. So what do you get here? The temperature at the junction T is equal to 540 by 5. So which is 108 degrees Celsius. That is what we have second option. Let us go for the 10th one. So 10th one is similar problem. Just to go through that one. Instead of the areas, they give it lengths different and area cross section is different. Then you can practice that. You can do that one. Let us go for the 11th one. A slab consists that one. 11th one. A slab consists of two parallel layers of two different materials of thickness, same thickness, having thermal conductivities K1 and K2. The equivalent conductivity of the combinations. Remember, parallel layers. Parallel layers means you have two rods are having K1 and this is what K2. Then they are asking to find effective thermal conductivity. In parallel combination, what do we know? 1 by R is equal to what? 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. But R is what you know? L by K. But 1 by R reciprocal means what? K effective into A1 plus A2 by L is equal to K1 A1 by L1 plus K2 A2 by L. Remember? So now K effective into A1 is equal to A2 and L1 is equal to L2, same. So what you can get here? 2A by L is equal to K1A by L plus K2A by L. A by L cancels. Then K effective is equal to K1 plus K2 plus K2 into 2 comes inside by 2. Then K1 plus K2 by 2 in parallel. 12th one. The layers of atmosphere are heated mainly through what? Air layers. One is due to convection and radiation, but not through conduction. Why? Because conduction requires the medium. Conduction means the mode of transfer of heat without any actual motion of the matter. But in atmosphere, what will be happen? Because of the densities of the air layers, the air layers moves from hot air layers rises upward. That means the most of the actual motion of the matter taking place. So that we have 4th option. Gravitational force is required for convection. So natural convection is not required. So for stirring of liquid, radiation, conduction. So for stirring of liquid we need gravitation. Next 14th one. In which of the following process convection does not take place primarily? Straight wind. That is what because of the effect of the latitudes effect we have, the trade wind will be takes place. Then that is convection process. Sea breeze and land breeze are natural convection only. Warming of glass of bulb due to filament. Due to filament is nothing but, so inside of the glass we have a filament. So whenever that is heated, inside evacuated, so that what will happen? That is glass is heated due to radiation, but not due to convection. So boiling of water is due to convection. Then third option. We consider the radiation emitted by the human body. Which of the following statements is true? Emitted by the human body. Remember, so infrared radiations are heat radiations we call. So that whatever we are reading, those are due to infrared. So radiation is emitted only during the day, wrong? In the ultraviolet region and hence is not visible. No. Okay. The radiation is emitted during the summers and absorbed during the winters. So it's not exactly good. The radiation emitted by only during the day. No. Even at night time also will be emitted. But what will happen? As the temperature is less, the radiation of the amount of heat energy is less. Because according to the Stephen's law, Prevost theory, what we know, every body emits radiation depending upon its temperature except 0 degrees Celsius. That means even at night time also it emits radiations. The radiation emitted in the infrared region, that is correct one, 4th option. Absorption of radiation, the absorption coefficient of an open window is 1. Open window is it absorbs all the amount of heat energy which is incident on it. Therefore, open window. So let us go for the rate of flow dissipation of heat energy by a black body of temperature T is Q. So radiation which is 17th one. The rate of dissipation of heat energy by a black body at temperature T is Q. At temperature T, what is heat energy? Q. And what will be the rate of dissipation of heat energy by another body at temperature 2T and emissivity 0.5. First one is black body. This is for black body. For black body, what is the emissivity? 1. And for second body at temperature T2, what is Q2 value? And given EV is what? 0.5, which is nothing but 1/4. Remember, according to the Stefan's law, what we know? Stefan's law, the amount of heat energy emitted per unit time per unit area is directly proportional to the fourth power of its absolute temperature, or sigma AE T power 4. Now, sigma is constant for the same time, A is constant, then Q is directly proportional to E T power 4. Now, Q2 by Q1 is equal to E2 by E1 into T2 by T whole power 4. Then E2 is nothing but what? 1/4 by E1 is nothing but 1 into T2 temperature 2T by T whole power 4. T and T get cancelled. That is equal to, then Q2 by Q1 is equal to 1/4 into 2 power 4. 2 power 4 is nothing but what? 16. How many times here? 4 times. Then Q2 is equal to what we have? 4Q. Q2 is equal to 4Q, which is first option. Which one of the following is the example of ideal black body? Awesome. No, it's not an ideal black body. It cannot absorb all the radiations and it cannot emit all the radiations. Blackboard itself, it is not a perfect black body. A pinhole in a box. Let us see. Pinhole in a box. Here we have pinhole. So whenever the light incident on this one, it does not come back at all. Is it or not? Why? So whenever the light is incident on this one, it diffract, then it will be reflected. So inside of the multiple reflection will be takes place, but it does not come outside. So the total light will be trapped inside of this pinhole box. Therefore, pinhole is a perfect black body, which is third option correct. A body 19th one. Let us go for 19th one. A body at temperature 727 degrees Celsius has surface area 5 centimeters square. So that temperature is given what? Temperature T is equal to 727 degrees Celsius. But remember, always we have to take the temperature in which scale? In what scale? Absolute scale. Means Kelvin scale. 727 plus 273, which is equal to 1000 Kelvin. And what area? 5 centimeters square. That represents 5 into 10 power minus 4 meter square. 5 into 10 power minus 4 meter square. Radiates 300 joule of energy in each minute. Then heat energy 300 joule in each minute. Means time is equal to what? 60 seconds per minute. 60 seconds. The emissivity is, and even sigma is given what you know, 5.67 into 10 power minus 8 watt meter power minus 2 Kelvin power minus 4, and you need to find what is emissivity. What do you know the formula? The rate of flow transfer of heat is equal to K is equal to Q by T is equal to sigma A E T power 4. Now what we need to find here? E value. E is equal to Q by T into sigma A T power 4. Substitute values. Q value is given what? 300. By time is what? 60 into sigma 5.67 into 10 power minus 8 into area 5 into 10 power minus 4 into T power 4. T is nothing but 1000 10 power 3 whole power 4. Now 0 cancel. Here 5 times. Here this 5 cancel. Then what we have remaining? 1 by 5.67 into 10 power minus 6 into 10 power minus 4, 10 power minus 12, and 10 power 3 into 4, 10 power 12, minus 12 plus 12, that will become 1. Then 1 by 0, 5.67, which is 0.18. 0.18, which is second option. A hot and a cold body are kept in vacuum, separated from each other, even though the bodies are not in contact. Temperature changes for both. The correct explanation for the above observations is possible by using what? Stefan's law. That radiation, which is explained by the Stefan's law. 21st one. The wavelength of maximum energy released during an atomic explosion was 2.93 into 10 power minus 10 meter. Wavelength. Given that Wien's constant 2.93 into 10 power minus 3 meter Kelvin. The maximum temperature attained must be of the order of, what is it? From Wien's law, what do you know? Lambda and T is equal to what? Constant. Then temperature is equal to what? B by lambda. B is what? 2.93 into 10 power minus 3 by wavelength is what here? 2.93 into 10 power minus 10. 2.3 cancel. Minus 10 goes to meter plus 10. Minus 3 plus 10, 10 power 7 Kelvin. Which is what option is it? Third option. So remaining bits we will discuss in next class. Please go through the concept, and it is very important topic for CET, even NEET and JEE also. Thank you.